What's up, everyone? Welcome to Hyperarch Fascia Training pre-fight analysis of UFC 250 main event between Amanda Nunes and Felicia Spencer. This is a very interesting fight. We're going to look at some objective facts and try to stay out of feelings as much as possible. First, let's look at Amanda Nunes. So after I did some research on her, to my surprise, Amanda had sustained an ankle injury during training. I'm really curious how she sustained the injury, because usually MMA training is barefoot. We know barefoot gives more sensory feedback to the foot. So my question is, did she suffer the injury during a BJJ practice, or somehow she rolled it during a stand-up? If it's the latter, I would be concerned. It's a puzzle piece and it's on the table. Most successful athletes have some sort of athletic training while they were young. Amanda is no exception. Amanda started karate at age 4 and then boxing at age of 16. Within that, karate training is usually barefoot, so the developmental stage sensory stimulation was there. Considering majority of the kids would be wearing shoes and in strollers at that age, this is a very good start for Amanda. If you study the history of winners in combat sport, they usually possess knockout power, which is key, or one of the keys to unlock winning. As we know from hyperarch metamorphosis, when the body becomes more fascia-driven, not only there is an increase in power delivery, but movement efficiency and agility goes up at later stages as well. For those people who have trained with me for a while, this requires no further explanation. Amanda has a very obvious hole in her game, which is on the ground. It is true that she has a black belt in BJJ, brown belt in judo, but a certification can only mean so much. It is what you do in the ring that matters, and how you apply what you learn. That's what matters. In fact, majority of the losses of Amanda come from the ground, either getting mounted or being submitted. In fact, all her 4 losses came in this fashion. So the question really is, will Felicia Spencer capitalize on this weakness, or will she make the same mistake like Ronda Rousey did? I would consider Amanda Nunes, after viewing her training videos, to be at least level 3 in terms of fascial connection. There is almost no leakage of power from the ankles, and it's very stiff. And the stance when she takes is definitely a glutes dominant one. There's no quad dominant tendencies in there. So I would place her in the fascia driven category of athlete, but not so much when I view the training videos of Felicia Spencer. So I have this video here, and we're gonna take a look. So Spencer is actually a math teacher, and which is very surprising, but she's extremely smart. So let's take a look. So what I found out about her is Felicia also started martial arts training at a young age, Taekwondo at age 4. But I have questions about this Taekwondo training that she did. Majority of the kids that start training at a young age in Taekwondo or any type of martial arts, it usually is done by barefoot. If they're trained by a Asian martial artist, usually it's barefoot. She, during one of her interviews, she revealed that the Taekwondo teacher or the master was a police officer. So I'm not so sure he followed the tradition where barefoot was applied. When I viewed her running gait, it was very obvious to me that she does not apply fascial tension when she runs. And this is also why her holistic fascial connection is low. There is no kinetic linking to the upper body. It's not well formed. So her punches and her kicks, although it could be on target, but it's going to be very, very weak. So in this category of striking, I have to give all the advantages to Amanda. If Amanda get to stand up with Felicia Spencer in majority of the fights. She would walk away with a W 100% of the time. One area of Felicia's advantage is that she is very smart, especially in clinching, and but that's how a muscle dominant athlete would do, because they can't really win on the striking side, so they have to take advantage of the clinching and grappling. Also, because of the lack of fascia tensioning in her body, she would be heavily outmatched in stamina as well, especially when this championship fight goes into the 4th and 5th round. She would have no advantages there. In the first 2 rounds, I expect her to have a lot of takedown attempts, and it will depend on how Amanda guards those. I mean, if she try 6 times and then they all fail, by the 4th and 5th round, she's going to be in fact, I would say in the 3rd round, starting from the 3rd round, her situation would get worse and worse, because she is a muscle-driven, more of a muscle-dominant athlete instead of fascia-driven athlete. So the stamina will become an issue. One thing I really like about her is that she's a math teacher. So in math, okay, we calculate. Making correct risk to reward calculation is one way she could pull a upset. Okay, there is a particular move that I really like. Is when she tried to clinch, she actually tried to, instead of pinching the person, she would then drop her weight and fall to the ground. It's sort of like a self-sacrifice kind of way. And this is actually how she won the fight against a very big and long striker, Anderson. So let's take a look at the fight here, right? This is like, this is the move I'm talking about. Again, let's go back. She will be pinching against the opponent. All right, pinching. All of a sudden, she dragged you down. And in this particular scramble, she was able to get Anderson under her. Okay. And she uses the move actually quite a lot. She uses move. This particular move also in the Chris Cyborg fight, but the scrambling didn't go well in that particular exchange. But this particular exchange, it worked very well, and then it worked in her favor. So I would say Felicia would have her moments in the first 2 rounds, and but after the first 2 rounds end, her chance of winning goes down almost 80-90%. There's no way that, because of her stamina, she could have any advantage against Amanda Nunes. I think her strategy coming into this fight would be try to time the punches, combination punches, and try to shoot for a takedown. But it really depends on the timing. Another move I particularly like from Felicia is she has good use of her feet, because she had a Taekwondo background. I don't see any high risk kicks. It's really very standard kicks. But I also like her Superman punches. She has a few Superman punches. If she could somehow change the Superman punch into a Superman punch and grab, right? Into a Superman punch, miss and grab the back of the neck, get into a clinch, get Amanda into the ground, she would have, better odds at winning. If you have taken the fascia training course and you started training your feet, right, you would understand what I mean by her running, the way that she dorsiflexes. Because when you have fascia tension in your foot, the concept is function determines form, not form determines function. This is completely opposite than what mainstream trying to teach people. Okay, there's one time I posted a a post, IG post about a kid who's running, and she was dorsiflexing way more than the rest of her peers. And I was saying how the way that she runs, dorsiflexes, is a lack of fascia tensioning, but nobody understood. Everybody was trying to argue with me and trying to say, "Oh, you just correct the form." No, correcting the form only it's like a painkiller. It doesn't cure the root cause. Okay, it's you can't correct the form and then try to make the function happen. The only way that you can truly build an athlete up is from the foundation. You have to work the way up. Okay, you can't just work the change the form and then thinking the function would be there. That's like lying to yourself. Okay, you know how to spot a fake Gucci bag? Well, what's fake about Gucci bags? On the outside, they look the same. Okay, but the material is much cheaper. That's because it's a fake, because the inside is fake. Okay, so hopefully people get that message. Until next time, this is Chong Xie, Hyperarch Fascia Training. Thank you. There's one time I posted a post. There's one time I posted a post.